because for me, this has a very different feel.
I wanted to go there. Thank you.
It went down a very different path, and this is to me more akin to an Easter event than a traditional Halloween event. And granted, I think there did need to be some kind of a change up, because we had
Drainer Manor.
We had Drainer Manor for several years now. Of course, I would say that like last year was probably the height that could have been, right? So
remember they started that
the
one.
change.
They started that one in 2020, pandemic year, by having you make plague soup with bat.
It's a bat, yeah.
Throwing the bats. That was
yeah, that was classic
that was
Jagex right there.
But that was a good event. But yeah,
this doesn't feel like that to me.
No, and it's a far cry from getting given, a scary item and saying, go hand out candy to 5 people in Lumbridge and you'll get a Halloween event reward. Or from any of the quests that we had in previous years. It's a far cry from that, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if just a few. Remember the one we had at the Invention Guild? Like, that was kind of a bigger one. Of course,
the one I remember the most was
about.
The 2013 one, Death's Mansion.
That
was fun.
Yeah, still the best. I mean, this feels more like an Easter event, and I don't know if it's just because of the random eggs and that now it's pumpkins.
No, this is the Christmas event rejiggered, really what it is, because Grim Harvest, and this is what we'll get to, this is built around the Treasure Hunter promo, dare I say it, which is a reskin of the promo we get at Christmas. Except instead of wrapping paper, it's Hodmans, and there's no sleigh.
Okay.
And I think that's why you're feeling it, is because at its core, yes, you can earn practically and almost everything in-game through play, either by getting it randomly through a Smashing Pumpkin or from Hodman purchases that you earn while playing. But at the end of the day, there is no quest, there is no mini-quest, there is no core central area to gather aside from the pumpkin hunting events, which happen every half hour, which I guess is fine, right? In terms of getting people out and about.
Well, every hour on the half hour.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and that's the issue you're bringing up, Tanis, is that there's no mini quest, there's no traditional event fueling with it, as people would say, going back to any of the previous events. And I'm going to challenge you right here, and I'm going to say, what is the core aspect of these events that's missing from this one?
So I
feel like mini quest is definitely one thing.
Yeah, the mini quest. I would say the central. Feel. Yeah, because if you look at the most successful Halloween event, there's a difference between what I think people expect in a Halloween event versus a Christmas event versus a Easter event, and it's not just on the surface of, hey, we want to see Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. It's the way that it has been done in the past. And Halloween always comes with a communal space with activity. It kind of harkens back to the time you can be a kid and go into your school's Halloween carnival or something, right? And having different places, different things to do, and there'd be a story along with it, like you're talking about with the mini quest. And maybe this is I venture to say that even if there had been a different plan, they wouldn't have had time to do it anyway because of all the
and honestly
stuff they had to do.
Right. And honestly, I think that's what it comes down to, is the fact that the content teams are focused on core content that is in-game permanently and not to be removed and not to be in-game for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. And if you're going to dedicate an entire team to put 6 to 8 weeks dev time into something that is going to be in-game for 2 and a bit weeks and then is going to be removed for a year, you want to get reusability out of it. You don't want it to be one and done. And I see this as being a focus on actual content for the game rather than these events. And with these events, they can kind of farm these out to the live ops team for things like treasure hunter promos and that angle of it and the like.
And that would be an end of an era.
Yeah, and like I honestly think that's where we're at.